Hey guys, it's Ben the Coin Geek at Old Pueblo Coin, and today I have for you some show and tell on some items that are a little bit unusual. And man, I don't even know where to start, but let's start by saying you can like, share, and subscribe the videos. That's a good starting point. This is one of the mechanical errors that we talk about something. I'm going to start real slow and simple here and just say there's something wrong with this coin, and it's not that it's in a PCI Proof 70 holder. It's also possibly not that it says mintage unknown, which is actually probably the best thing about this now that I say it out loud. But, you know, clearly it was certified before the mintages were produced, or the mintages were public knowledge. Deep Cameo Proof 70. The thing that caught my eye was that it says that the coin is silver, and the coin is actually clearly not silver, because the silver coins have a very white look to them, not the steely gray. Now, I know that's kind of boring and ho-hum, but we're going to keep going and get the oddities. The oddities keep getting better, because next up I have a 1 ounce silver round that has been struck partially out of the collar or off center, but I think you just call it broken collar. So the way that most dies work is that you'll have the two ends, but then you'll have a collar that keeps everything together, and when that collar breaks, the metal flows out, creating what I think sometimes is known as a railroad rim. So all of you air specialists, you can correct me on that, but or I can just tell you, well, that's the term that I use, and then I'm right because I'm finding my own truth. So pretty cool all the way around. You know, this is coming around the mountain when she comes. I'm on the railroad theme, guys. Don't stop me now. So as you go all the way around, the rim itself is only really, well, it's hard to say that it's really intact anywhere on this thing. Looks like it's slightly out of tact, if that's a word, most all the way around, especially at this edge where the metal's flowing all the way over. I thought this was lots of fun because I handled, I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of ounces of silver over the years, and I almost never see errors on silver. So I thought that was pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. All right, what's next? This is perhaps one of the funniest things I've ever seen. I've honestly never seen this before. This half cent is lovely. You know, this is something that just looking at it at a glance, it's probably a lower AU grade. Beautiful, original, chocolate brown, just lovely. I would collect nothing but half cents if they all looked like this. What? Oh man, this is something only a numismatist could appreciate. So, you know, you talk about looking at a coin and it has two sides. Of course, coin collectors remember there are three sides. But this coin is literally cleaned and lacquered. You see that shiny rim and whatnot, that's actually lacquer on the coin. So my guess is that they polished this side of the coin to make it look red, and then they lacquered it to keep the color. And it was in an album face down, or face up rather, so this was in the backside untouched, unblemished. This is the strangest thing I've ever seen. I have never seen a coin that is beautiful, original on one side, cleaned and lacquered on the other. And maybe I should use it as a decision coin, like for flipping. And you can, you know, figure out if a coin's been cleaned or not. See? That's it. All right, next up, the rare 1803 half cent pattern. And as I say that out loud, you guys can figure out that I'm just being silly, but you're also looking at this and wondering, what in the world am I looking at? What in the world are we looking at? Well, apparently what we're looking at is aluminum foil, which is a fantastic Weird Al song, but apparently they took two pieces of foil, took a half cent, put it in a holder, smashed it tight, and then took the half cent out of it because it's very light. You can't tell that on the video. So they preserved their half cent forever. Look at that big die crack and everything. This is one of my favorite little things. I mean, I don't know where you'll find another one. Maybe someone can just start manufacturing them now that I've shown you what they are. Isn't that wild? But it's aluminum. It's very light. And last but not least, what appears to be a buckle made from a coin, and actually 1872 San Francisco Mint. It's actually a coin with a mintage of only 9,000 pieces. So according to the gray sheet, I'm just, if I were good at my job, I'd actually would have had this page already marked and ready to go. But the 72S, they start at like $500, and then in like VF it's 1,000, XF's like 1,600. So here's the thing. This actually tests as 90% silver, but I'm still like 95% sure it's not real. I actually believe this to be a counterfeit, possibly from the period. And I don't know that I could actually send it in to get certified, because it's got, of course, these big things on the edge here. But let me show you up close the things that really give me the opinion that it's counterfeit. Now, I could be wrong. This could be from some solder or something else. But as we look here, especially around the D and the O and the word dollar, do you see those dots? Like the raised dots? There's a big one, a couple big ones right over the D and the O. Let me go full bore here with my 20 power, and we'll take a closer look. So when you see raised dots, and then you see like what look like scratch lines and things like that, because usually that's from a cast die, and then they would try to get those bubbles off by kind of scratching them out. The strange thing is, a lot of the coin looks really, really, really good. But then on the surface, I take a look at those bubbles, and oftentimes those bubbles will be in areas that were harder for them to get to. So lots of times it'll be in between lettering and stuff like that. So anyway, I think that this is counterfeit. There's another big dot and above that depression right there in the field. And then also, now depressions are another thing, right? So you start to see dots that are not, depressions that are not contact marks. Like this one looks like a contact mark. You see it looks like a crater. But some of these other ones where they're just smooth on the edge and then they go down. There's another big dot above the G on God. Look at that big piece of, is that a big piece of raised metal next to the W in we? Anyway, those are things to look for on counterfeit. So this is interesting. It weighs 29.2 grams, which is probably relatively close to the right weight. It might be a little bit light because, I don't know how much these little pieces weigh. Maybe I should get a hat and just clip this on with some cool leather, and I could wear it. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. I'm Ben the Coin Geek. You can leave your comments in the box down below. Thanks.